just got some fantastic questions through private messages, and I wanted to do sort of a rapid fire Q&A because these are such great questions. Okay, question number 1. If you had an ablation, so you haven't had a period since that time, how do you know when you're in menopause? How do you know when the cutoff is for hormone therapy? So there are really 3 scenarios where we can't really time your menopause with the end of your periods. One would be a partial hysterectomy. So you've had your uterus surgically removed, but you still have your ovaries. So they're still giving off lots of estrogen, and yet you're not having periods. Okay, that's scenario 1. Scenario 2, maybe you have a Mirena IUD, and so you stop bleeding because it just thins the lining of your uterus so much there's nothing to shed. That does not mean that they are chemically in menopause, because they still have tons of estrogen, they're ovulating, etc. So this is one of the times where you would use 60 as your cutoff. So you would assume the average age of menopause would be around 51 when your ovaries stop functioning. Question number 2, if you have been on the birth control pill for years, how do you know if you're in menopause? This is a great question. What you want to do, because blood work will not be accurate. Sorry, but Benny's snorting. Blood work will not be accurate if you're on the birth control pill because it's really suppressing your ovaries. What you can do is come off the pill, use an alternate form of contraception because we don't know the lay of the land, and then ask your doctor to do 2 sets of FSH levels at least 30 days apart. If both of those show an elevated FSH above 25, you're in menopause. And with the caveat that you should also be having no bleeding. I hope that helps. Rapid fire question number 3. You're put on an SSRI or an SNRI for hot flashes and maybe some mild mood symptoms that are only showing up during perimenopause. Is it okay to try to come off that SSRI or SNRI later in life? I do think it's reasonable. If your symptoms only started and were sort of mild and related to the vasomotor symptoms, if they only started during perimenopause and were also related to other perimenopause symptoms, talk to your doctor about a taper down of your antidepressant. You want to do it slowly, first of all, to limit side effects from coming off the medication, but also just to be sure, right, that you don't actually have an underlying depression or anxiety that reemerges. Number 4. So this was from someone who's on estrogen and cyclic progesterone. They're in their late 30s. They're still having relatively regular cycles, but are obviously having symptoms of perimenopause. But they're finding the 200 of progesterone is making them really groggy. Fun fact, the progesterone capsules, the micronized progesterone capsules, work vaginally and orally. We know from studies they offer pretty equal uterine protection whether you take them either way. So I will often tell women, split the difference. Take 100 orally to get the sleep benefit. Try 100 vaginally, and it minimizes those side effects. So I hope that helps.